She said, "If my friend's jokes bother you, you can leave. Just pay your share." I smiled, said, "All right," and walked out. They all thought I was joking, until their laughter died when they realized I had only paid for my meal. What happened next completely changed everything between us. I'm 32, work in financial consulting, and I thought I had my life figured out. Been with my girlfriend Emma for about 14 months. Met her at a mutual friend's barbecue, thought she was funny, smart, had her own career in marketing. We moved in together after 10 months, maybe too fast, but everything felt right at the time. Or I thought it did. Emma had this friend group from college, 5 women, all late 20s to early 30s, all unmarried except one. They called themselves the Coven, which I always found a bit eye-roll worthy but harmless. They met up every other weekend, usually at someone's apartment, sometimes at bars or restaurants. I'd met them a handful of times, birthday parties, group dinners, that sort of thing. They were always a bit cold to me, but I figured that's just how protective friend groups are. You know, the whole, no guy is good enough for our friend vibe. The thing is, whenever Emma came back from hanging out with them, she'd be different for a day or two. More distant, more critical. She'd make little comments about how I dressed, or how I wasn't as ambitious as I should be, or how I didn't get her sense of humor. I brought it up once, gently, and she laughed it off, said I was being paranoid. Then came last Friday. Emma told me the Coven wanted to do a group dinner at this upscale Italian place downtown, Marcello's, one of those spots where appetizers start at $18. She asked if I wanted to come. I said sure, thinking maybe if I spent more time with them, they'd warm up to me. Maybe I could finally crack whatever wall they'd built. Big mistake. We got there around 7 p.m. The reservation was under Sarah's name. She's the unofficial leader of the group, works in tech, always has this smug energy like she knows something you don't. The table was already half full when we arrived. Sarah, Madison, Becca, and Jen were there. The 5th member, Claire, was running late. Right away, I could feel the temperature drop when I sat down. Sarah gave me this tight smile and said, "Oh, you came. How nice." The way she said nice made it sound like the opposite. Emma either didn't notice or pretended not to. She immediately dove into conversation with Becca about some drama at Becca's office. I ordered a beer, tried to make small talk with Madison about the upcoming football season. She gave me one-word answers and kept looking at her phone. Jen didn't even acknowledge me. When Claire finally showed up 20 minutes later, she hugged everyone at the table except me. Didn't even make eye contact. The appetizers came. Bruschetta, calamari, this fancy burrata thing. We all shared. The wine was flowing. They ordered 2 bottles right off the bat. Emma was on her 2nd glass before our entrees even arrived, laughing loud at everything Sarah said. That's when the comments started. Sarah looked at me and said, "So Emma tells us you're still at the same company you were at when you guys met. No promotions or anything?" I kept my cool. "I got a raise last year, actually. Things are good." "A raise," Sarah repeated, like I'd said I won a participation trophy. "That's sweet," Madison chimed in. "Emma, didn't you say he still plays video games? Like, regularly?" Emma giggled, actually giggled, and said, "Yeah, he's got his little gaming setup in the spare room." "Little gaming setup," Becca said, grinning. "Aw." I felt my jaw tighten, but I smiled. "It's a hobby. Everyone needs downtime." "Sure, sure," Sarah said, swirling her wine. "It's just funny because Emma's out here crushing it at her firm, getting promoted, traveling for work, and you're like, playing Call of Duty." "I don't play Call of Duty," I said quietly. "Oh, sorry," Sarah said with fake sincerity. "What is it? Fortnite?" They all laughed. Emma laughed too. That one hurt. The entrees came. I'd ordered the pasta, $32. Emma got the salmon, $41. Everyone else had similar mid to high ticket items. The wine kept flowing. They ordered a 3rd bottle. I stuck with my beer. The jokes kept coming. They made fun of my shirt. Is that from Target? Yes, it was, and so what? They made fun of my car, which Emma must have told them about. I drive a 2015 Honda Accord. Reliable, paid off, nothing fancy. Apparently that's hilarious. Then Sarah said, "Honestly, Emma, I don't know how you do it. You're so patient." Patient with what? I asked, even though I knew I shouldn't engage. With, you know, Sarah gestured vaguely at me. Everything. Emma didn't defend me. She just shrugged and said, "He has his good qualities." His good qualities. Like I was a rescue dog. I excused myself to the bathroom. Stood there for 5 minutes, staring at myself in the mirror, trying to decide if I was overreacting. Decided I wasn't. When I came back, they were all leaning in, whispering, and when they saw me, they went quiet and then burst into laughter. "What's funny?" I asked, sitting back down. "Nothing," Emma said, wiping her eyes. "Just a joke." "About me?" "Oh my God, don't be so sensitive," Madison said. I looked at Emma. "Is it about me?" She sighed. "It's not that serious. We were just talking about how you always wear those running shoes even though you don't run." "I do run, twice a week. She knows this." "I run," I said. "Barely," Sarah said. "Emma says you do like a slow jog around the block." "That's still running," I said, feeling my face get hot. "If you say so," Sarah said, and they all giggled again. The dessert menus came. They ordered 3 desserts to share and another round of drinks. I didn't order anything else. I was done. Completely done. The check came around 10 p.m. The total was $847. Sarah announced, "Okay, let's just split it evenly." That's like what, $140 each? I did the math in my head. My beer was $8. My pasta was $32. I'd had one appetizer portion, maybe $6 worth. I was looking at maybe $50 total for what I actually consumed. They wanted me to pay $140 so they could subsidize their wine and salmon and tiramisu. "I'll just pay for what I ordered," I said calmly. The table went quiet. "What?" Sarah said. "I'll pay for my meal. I didn't have wine, I didn't have dessert. I'll cover my portion." "Are you serious right now?" Madison said. Emma put her hand on my arm. "Babe, we always split evenly. It's easier." "Easier for who?" I asked, looking at her. "I didn't drink 3 bottles of wine. Why would I pay for it?" "Because that's what adults do," Sarah said, her voice sharp now. "We don't nickel and dime our friends." "I'm not your friend," I said. "You've made that very clear tonight." Emma's face went red. "Oh my God, can you not do this right now?" "Do what? Pay for what I ate?" Jen finally spoke up. "This is so embarrassing." "Yeah," I said. "It really is." Emma leaned close and hissed in my ear. "If my friend's jokes bother you that much, you can leave. Just pay your share and go." I looked at her. Really looked at her. She was annoyed at me. Not at her friends for treating me like garbage for 3 hours, but at me for not taking it with a smile. I smiled, a real one. All right. I stood up, pulled out my wallet, counted out $50 in cash, and put it on the table. "That covers mine and a tip. Have a great night, ladies." I walked out, didn't look back. I sat in my car for a minute, half expecting Emma to come after me. She didn't. I drove home, our apartment, packed a bag with clothes and essentials, grabbed my laptop and my toothbrush, and drove to my buddy Chris's place. He and his wife let me crash in their guest room, no questions asked. Emma called me 4 times that night. I didn't answer. She texted, "Where are you? Are you serious right now? You're being childish." I turned my phone off and went to sleep. Update: one Saturday morning, I woke up to 23 missed calls and a string of texts from Emma. The tone had shifted. First text at 11 p.m. "You embarrassed me." Text at 1 a.m. "I can't believe you just left." Text at 3 a.m. We need to talk. Text at 9 a.m. Are you ignoring me? I finally responded around noon. I'm staying at Chris's. I need space. She called immediately. I answered. What the hell is wrong with you? She said, no greeting. What's wrong with me? Emma, your friends treated me like dirt all night and you laughed along with them. They were just joking. For 3 hours? Those weren't jokes, that was bullying. You're being dramatic, she said. And you embarrassed me in front of everyone by making a scene about the check. I made a scene? I calmly paid for my meal and left. You left me there to cover your portion. That stopped me. What? After you left, we recalculated and everyone still had to pay $140 each, but since you only left $50, someone had to cover the rest. I had to cover it. I paid almost $200 last night because of you. I laughed. Couldn't help it. Emma, that's not my problem. You wanted me to pay for food and drinks I didn't have. I paid for what I consumed. If you chose to cover the difference, that's on you. You're unbelievable, she said. Sarah's texting me nonstop about what an asshole you are. Good. Tell Sarah she's right. I am an asshole. An asshole who's not subsidizing her $60 worth of wine anymore. She hung up on me. Chris asked me what happened when I came out of the guest room. I told him everything. His wife, Amy, overheard and came into the living room. Wait, Amy said. She let her friends mock you all night and then got mad when you didn't pay for their expensive dinner? Yep. And she thinks you're the problem? Apparently. Chris shook his head. Man, I hate to say it, but that's not a good sign. I stayed at Chris's all weekend. Emma texted sporadically, mostly guilt trips. I thought you were more mature than this. Relationships are about compromise. You can't just run away when things get hard. Monday morning, I went to work, tried to focus on spreadsheets and client calls. During lunch, I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. Hey, it's Claire. From dinner. Can we talk? I stared at my phone. Claire, the one who'd shown up late and ignored me. What could she possibly want? About what? I replied. About Friday. And Emma, please, just coffee. Against my better judgment, I agreed. We met Tuesday after work at a Starbucks near my office. Claire looked uncomfortable. She ordered a latte. I got black coffee. We sat in the corner. Look, she said, not making eye contact. I felt really bad about Friday. Okay, I said, waiting. Sarah can be a lot. And when Emma's around her, she gets like that too. They all do. It's this whole groupthink thing. That's not an excuse, I said. I know. I'm not making excuses. I wanted you to know that I thought it was messed up. What they said. How they treated you. Then why didn't you say anything? She sighed. Because I'm a coward. Because if I stood up for you, I'd become the target. That's how that group works. You're either in or you're out. Sounds toxic, I said. It is, she admitted. I've been thinking about distancing myself for a while. Friday kind of sealed it. Why are you telling me this? Claire finally looked at me. Because Emma's telling everyone that you freaked out over nothing. That you stormed out and left her stranded. She's making you the villain, and it's not fair. My stomach dropped. What do you mean telling everyone? She posted about it. Vaguely, but everyone knows it's about you. On Instagram, something like, when you realize someone's true colors over something as small as a dinner bill. It has like 200 likes and all her friends are commenting, saying you're immature. I pulled out my phone and opened Instagram. Sure enough, there it was. Posted Sunday night. The comments were brutal. People I'd never met calling me cheap, insecure, a man-child. Jesus, I muttered. I'm sorry, Claire said. I thought you should know. I thanked her and left. Drove back to Chris's in a daze. Update 2. That night, I made a decision. I wasn't going to let Emma control the narrative. I drafted a post of my own. Kept it factual, no names, but detailed. Described the dinner, the jokes, the bill situation, everything. Posted it to my own Instagram with a simple caption, "Know your worth. Don't let people treat you like an ATM while mocking you to your face." Within an hour, it had blown up. Comments from friends, co-workers, even people I barely knew. "Good for you." "She sounds toxic." "You dodged a bullet." Emma saw it. Called me screaming. "You made us all look bad. People know it's about me." "You posted about me first," I said calmly. "You made me look bad. I just told my side. Take it down. Now." "No." She hung up. Then I got a barrage of texts from the coven. Sarah, "You're pathetic." Madison, "Emma's too good for you anyway." Becca, "Hope the attention was worth it." I blocked all of them. Wednesday, I went back to the apartment when I knew Emma would be at work, grabbed more of my stuff, clothes, books, my gaming setup, left my key on the counter with a note. "I'll be out completely by the end of the month. We can figure out the lease later." Emma came home while I was packing up my desk. We stood in the living room, 10 feet apart. "So, that's it?" she said. "You're just done?" "Yeah," I said. "I'm done." "Over one dinner?" "No, Emma. Over the fact that you let your friends disrespect me for hours and then blamed me for not wanting to pay for their overpriced wine. Over the fact that you posted about me online instead of having an actual conversation. Over the fact that you're more worried about what Sarah thinks than how I feel." Her eyes welled up. "I love you." "No, you don't," I said. "If you loved me, you would have had my back on Friday." I walked out with the last box. Haven't been back since. Final update. It's been 6 weeks now. I'm staying with Chris and Amy until I find my own place. Already toured a few apartments, should be signing a lease next week. Emma texted me 2 weeks ago. Long message about how she's been reflecting and realizes she could have handled things better. No actual apology, just vague acknowledgement. She asked if we could meet to talk. I said no. I heard through mutual friends that the coven is imploding. Apparently Claire did distance herself, which caused a rift. Sarah and Madison got into a fight about something unrelated, and now half the group isn't speaking. Emma's apparently been leaning on them for support and they're sick of hearing about it. My post is still up. I'm not taking it down. Last week, I went on a date. Nothing serious, just coffee with a woman I matched with on Hinge. Her name's Rachel, she's a teacher, and when the bill came, she immediately offered to split it. We each paid for our own drinks. It was refreshing. I don't miss Emma. I miss the idea of what I thought we had, but I don't miss her. And I definitely don't miss the coven. Someone asked me if I regret how I handled Friday night. Honestly? Number. I regret not standing up for myself sooner. Edit 1. A few people asked about the lease. We were both on it. I talked to the landlord and he's letting me off early since Emma can afford it on her own. She's pissed, but there's nothing she can do about it. Edit 2. Yes, $847 for 6 people is insane. That's what happens when you order 3 bottles of wine at $45 each and everyone gets the most expensive entrees. Lesson learned. Never agree to split evenly unless you've seen the menu first. Edit 3. To everyone saying I should have just paid the $140 to keep the peace, that's exactly the mentality that lets people walk all over you. It wasn't about the money. It was about respect.